News, the 49-47 Cincinnati Reds will be back in action tonight when they kick off the free coverage will begin at 7. First pitch for tonight's game set for 7:10, but our coverage will begin around 6:45 on ESPN 680. Minor League Baseball news: the Louisville Bats lost their fourth straight 3-0 to the Memphis Redbirds. They'll be back in action again against the Redbirds tonight at Louisville Slugger Field at 7 o'clock. And last but certainly not least, just a reminder that Louisville City FC will be back in action taking on Colorado Springs tomorrow. Kickoff for that game is set for April. And last but certainly not least, in soccer news, Louisville City FC will be back in action tonight when they take on Colorado Springs at 8:45. We'll have that coverage on all ESPN local formats. Did you see this? The Cincinnati. Did you see this? It's fine. Did you see that the Cleveland Indians have renamed their team the Cleveland Guardians? Yeah, it's official this morning. The Cleveland Guardians. That one's almost as good as the Washington football team. So that one's not as good as the Washington football team. Really?
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2020 Summer Games. Team USA is in the house. Basketball star Sue Bird and Marlins infielder Eddie Alvarez served as Team USA's flag bearers, leading the march of over 200 athletes from the United States in this morning's Parade of Nations at the opening ceremony. 613 American athletes will compete over the next 2 weeks. U.S. water polo captain Jesse Smith did not march after there was a limit placed on how many players from his team could participate. Tokyo marks Smith's 5th Summer Games. And the U.S. women's soccer team isn't in attendance either, but put on their Ralph Lauren outfit anyway and marched around their hotel in celebration. They'll try to rebound from this week's loss to Sweden when they play New Zealand in their second game of the Summer Games tomorrow. The 4-hour celebration began with a countdown video montage leading to performers on the main field, a performance that included a moment of silence. With this Summer Games update, I'm Erica Herskowitz, Westwood One Sports.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
At Lowe's, we know your home is an expression of you, and we see you walking down these aisles of possibility, running your finger on that marble top Allen & Roth vanity, regularly $5.99, but now $3.49, and finding that perfect rattan pendant at an everyday low price of $99.98. In our showrooms of style, you'll find whatever you're into at a price you'll really get into. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate at Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 8/29/21. U.S. only.
Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hull. The Sports Center update brought to you by Beer Nose Pizza. Yeah, it's that good. Our coverage of the ACC Football Media Days continued yesterday. The Louisville head coach Scott Satterfield sat down with our very own Drew Diener and Mark Ennis yesterday, and he talked about the possibility of airing the spring game going forward.
We want to be a part of that. And so, yeah, I think next year we'll get a date and, they'll be able to televise our spring game, and then we'll get some people out and watch us. That'll be fun.
Louisville quarterback Malik Cunningham also joined the guys, and he talked about how he's handling the new NIL deals.
I actually got a little marketing team together, so those guys handle all of my stuff, so they just tell me what I need to do, how I need to do it, so I can keep my focus on football season and the team and our goals. So I've basically been putting that in the rearview mirror and letting my mom and those guys handle that. So, I've been locked in.
You can catch both those interviews and all of our other ACC Media Day interviews in full at the ESPN Louisville SoundCloud page or at 939theville.com. Moving on to Major League Baseball news, the 49-47 Cincinnati Reds will be back in action tonight when they kick off a 3-game series with the St. Louis Cardinals. First pitch for tonight's game set for 7:10, but our coverage will begin around 6:45 on ESPN 680. In minor league baseball news, the Louisville Bats lost their 4th straight 3-0 to the Memphis Redbirds. They'll be back in action again against the Redbirds tonight at Louisville Slugger Field at 7 o'clock. And last but certainly not least in soccer news, Louisville City FC will be back in action tonight when they take on Colorado Springs at 8:45. We'll have that coverage on all ESPN Louisville formats. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marques Maybin is next. This is Sports Center.
Customers travel from all over to Genesis, from as far away as Virginia and New York.
Wendy Canavan, Vice President at Genesis Diamonds.
We have a customer whose son lives in New York City. He was shopping in the Diamond District for a very nice diamond. When his dad heard about it, he called me and said, give my son a call. I called his son and sent him a diamond to New York so he could compare.
Competing against the larger diamond centers in America gets Wendy excited because she knows how it ends. Genesis can offer a bigger, better diamond for less, period.
And he verified it. He called me to say, this diamond is way better than I've seen and at a way better price. Your diamond prices are the best and the quality of this diamond is fantastic.
Genesis Diamonds, started by a former diamond wholesaler with world connections and an eye for extreme value.
Our owner, as a former diamond dealer, travels to buy from the largest cutters in the world and hand-picks every diamond in person.
Genesis Diamonds, Shelbyville Road Plaza, next to Trader Joe's.
We are Louisville's hometown sports station. ESPN 680, 105.7, and 93.9 The Ville, with the most play-by-play of the biggest events, including the NCAA Tournament and Final Four.
Wire-to-wire winner for the Baylor Bears.
the College Football National Championship,
The Crimson Tide will not be denied.
the NFL, and Super Bowl 54.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are Super Bowl 55 champions, led by Tom Brady.
The NBA Finals.
The Lakers conquer the bubble.
The World Series.
The Los Angeles Dodgers have won the World Series.
And the Kentucky Derby.
And they're into the stretch.
Featuring exclusive coverage of the Triple Crown. Big game, big race, one place. ESPN 680, 1057, and 93.9 The Ville.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
That's his game. They don't get back. Hayward's look at this steal. Here's the steal. 3-on-1. Alley-oop. Oh, my goodness. Marques Maybin. And you certainly are in love with him here in Louisville. Marques in the open floor. Hops incredible. Here comes Maybin off the steal. Oh, my goodness.
Get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's get ready for Marques Maybin. You're about midway to the midday with Marques Maybin. And you can call in, I lay back and just listen to Marques Maybin. So sit back and relax and watch Maybin.
Break it down like this.
Woo!
Broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio. Time for Middays with Marques Maybin on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marques Maybin and Steve Rummage.
Ooh, welcome back. It's Middays with Marques Maybin. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station, and I feel like it's a wrap-up, and I feel like it's a starting point. I can't tell if everybody's lining up to go or lining up to sit down and take a break. Steve Rummage is still on vacation. Brian Hall in the booth.
I just sent Steve a text. I said, hey, are you going to, connect in today? I mean, haven't been on all week, so hope vacation's going well for you down there in Disney World.
Is Steve doing the old college try yet again?
He's like, yeah, I'll do most of the shows. I'll do most of them that week.
Just do the segment and get his hot takes out and get his, because you know how it is, Brian. You take a couple of days off and you kind of miss it. And you miss kind of the opinions and being the opinion shapers of the city. Because that's what we are, the opinion shapers of the city.
But Steve probably is like, you know what? I could do vacation and I could do like one day a week and just give all my opinions out in like an hour, hour and a half, and I'll be good.
Right. Yeah, you do have, listen, everybody knows in every relationship, you have to have somebody to vent to. And in the relationship that is sports radio, it is like the listener is sometimes like you don't realize how much you are the relationship partner that is good ears. And look, and you don't talk back too much. And, only when you call in every once in a while.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we get to just vent and try to be entertaining simultaneously.
I'm joking. I'm sure he's having a good time down there at Disney World. I'm just jealous that he's down there.
Of course. It's our civic duty to give him a hard time about enjoying himself while we are keeping the people informed as to what is going on. So, Brian, I think today is an official day of a wrap up of a good week. It's for a place. Here's the thing. I almost feel, I don't know if I feel sorry for the media or the listener, because it's no secret. We don't have to hide behind this. The relationship with our coaches for the last 3 years of Scott Satterfield and Chris Mack, it's been a learning experience, right? And just, sometimes you feel like you know somebody, and and what I mean is the previous coaches, you know them, and then all of a sudden they're not here, and then you have to learn all over again how new coaches operate. And one thing we learn about these two coaches, they are not talkers. They're not media attention seekers. They are more or less close to the vest. And I think they are close to the vest to protect themselves. I'm telling you, there's a reason that Coach Sat and Coach Mack have a good rapport. And it's not just because of being at Louisville. You can tell they are committed to their craft. And and everything else is considered a distraction. Previous coaches would use the media for agendas, right? And agendas, I need to get a message to this player. I'm gonna use it through the media. I need to get a message to the fans. I'm gonna say something to the Courier Journal and get even Charlie Shaw. Like, I'm gonna say something to pass along a message without actually saying the message. They were manipulators of me, and not using that as in a negative way. But we have had coaches who have a lot more either showman to them or a bravado, right? And both of these guys are like in-house bravado, like behind the scenes bravado. They're not talkers, right? So the reason I set this up like that is these coaches end up having media days. Media days. You had Satterfield. You had Coach Scott Satterfield. Vince Tyree, who seems like he enjoys his position. Of all the coaches, Vince Tyree seems like he's having the most fun at his job.
Oh, I think so too.
So, Coach Satterfield, Marshawn Ford, CJ Avery, and who else was it?
Malik was there.
Malik and Malik Williams. Okay.
Cunningham.
I'm sorry, Malik Cunningham. Sue us. That's gonna happen, y'all. Here's the thing, Brian. We haven't gotten a lot of conversation from the players as a media, as a fan base.
I agree.
We have not gotten next to any conversation out of Coach Scott Satterfield, which I did recommend. So I will take full accountability. If he listened to a show or watched a live, he made my top 5 things I would recommend as your consigliere of Louisville sports. Lay low and get your guys right. Listen, get your statements out the way, get your media availabilities out the way, get to the grindstone, right? Because you're too honest. And Vince Tyree, I hope you having this conversation with Coach Scott Satterfield today. The smoke has cleared. I hope y'all are on the same private jet back to, well, I think Malik said they flew Coach. But I hope they're not flying Coach. But Vince Tyree, I hope you had a sit down with Coach Satterfield. And I wasn't going to do this today, but now I have to. The Midnighters, I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry that I'm doing this. You're just going to have to sit through a segment of this conversation. Brian Hall, I wasn't going to do this publicly because I didn't know if I was wrong or if I was being nitpicky or I was adding oxygen to unnecessary little butane lighter flames. We got good content out of yesterday. We got conversations about NIL. By the way, Drew loves this NIL conversation, doesn't he? He loves to talk about people getting to the money, getting to the bag, so to speak. I'm starting to see how much he enjoys the conversations of people getting to the bag. He is a numbers guy. But here's the thing. Out of all the content we got, I think I've just transitioned from football stories to football. NIL is a football story. Stop. I don't want to talk about vaccine protocols. God, I don't want to talk about NIL. Let those kids, and this is me, let those kids learn that they have to market themselves. Some people it comes easier. Some people have to work, but whatever you make, that's your business. We had too much of July to do that. We had the late June to do it. Like we talked about the possibilities. It's football time after today. Because I will put my finishing touches on kind of outer football stories. But back to Vince Tyree and his meeting, his hypothetical meeting with Coach Scott Satterfield. Now, of course, I have never been in the room and I don't think Vince Tyree is a Jerry Jones. I mean, I've seen, he has made statements like, hey, I got to talk to the coaches. I want to ask the coaches. By the way, 8150-939 is the number. Feel free to jump in here. The text line will be up shortly. I don't think Vince Tyree is invasive. I don't think he's invasive. I think he is, I've heard it best said when he says, what can he do to make your coach successful? That's how he goes to the coach. Hey, to elevate the standards, what do I need to do? I think he's one of those type of athletic directors. But this meeting time, okay. Hey, coach, what's your plan? This is Vince Tyree a long time ago. Hey, coach, what's your plan for a spring game? We usually do a family event. We usually do a little something, open the stadium. What do I have to do to prepare, everybody for a spring game? Well, coach, apparently, Coach Satterfield had the conversation with Vince. We do it quick. We do installs. We use all our time for installs and just running fast and getting some installs to see if people can pick it up. And then we get our possible injuries out the way if we hitting a little bit, and we set standards, and then we spend the rest of the time getting bigger, faster, stronger. So that does not leave much room for production. That is the spring game. Now, when you do that, and again, timing of his coaching hire and him coming into a 2-10 team, and all the challenges that he was faced with, the fan base had to eat that spring game conversation. And Marques Maybin held the line. He stood right here. Marques Maybin said, dude, I saw his App State team play against Tennessee. Repeat, I watched it with my own 2 eyes. Actually, I thought I was there, and then I realized I wasn't there. You know what I was doing? The Louisville was playing, Brian, and I was sitting in the back watching the regular TV in the media room of watching Appalachian State and Tennessee. And thankfully, my child got ejected from that game early enough to where I could still watch some Louisville football. Satterfield, you're lucky. The game wouldn't have been that close.
Was that a targeting call?
Yes.
Against Texas A&M?
No. When Jalen got kicked out of the game against App State.
App State, okay.
Okay. When Satterfield was at App State.
I forgot about that because I was thinking about the Texas A&M one that he had. That's when he got hurt.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, right. It was North Texas, I think. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, you made me think about it. Okay, my point is, and on that play, Jalen's not a dirty player, Coach Satterfield. You need to teach your punt returners to stand up straight, Coach Satterfield. That punt returner damn near went down to his knees. Jalen was aiming straight for the body. Your punt returner went down to damn near his knees, and he got his dome rocked. Y'all did that on purpose. You knew Jalen was the linebacker and the star of special teams at the University of Tennessee. Satterfield literally told his punt returner, when you're catching it, make sure you go down real low. It's going to hurt, but we're going to get that Jalen Reeves Maybin kid out of the game. That's a horrible accusation, Coach. I know you didn't do that on purpose. But let's go back to the point. I still watched that game, and that App State team gave the most loaded Tennessee roster. That Tennessee roster still has everybody, all those studs in the league right now. Super Bowl winners, Detroit Lions, Pro Bowl vote getters, all kind of good stuff. I said that team goes hard. That dude, they can't stop that team. That team, that's a good App State team. So I held the line. Listen, I saw whatever he's doing is working because their physicality couldn't match Tennessee. Their depth couldn't, but their physicality, however and it was early season, y'all. So whatever he's doing it right at Appalachian State. Fast forward. No spring game. Listen, y'all, I agree with him. Hold the line. If that's how he gets the best out of his talent, that's what he does. No spring game, we eat it. 8 wins, Brian. And don't roll your eyes at me. Don't you dare act like that wasn't a monumental accomplishment.
No, I agree.
Because I sat on air and I listened to 4-year rebuild, 3-year rebuild. Their over and under was 3 games. Wasn't it like 3 or 4 games?
I think it was set at 3. Yeah, 3 or 4.
3.5 games. Don't you dare forget that was the expectation. So then there is no spring game. Year 2. Jesus. I mean, what needs to be said? Turnovers and COVID. Right? And here's the thing. Either we're giving big COVID passes or we're not. Your 9-16 rival, either they're getting one or they're not. Your Indiana, Kentucky, Louisville, nobody makes the tournament. Either we're getting, and I know I jump sports, either we're getting passes or we're not. LSU sucked last year after winning the championship. Are we giving passes or we're not? Right? Because they sucked. Cincinnati and Indiana were dominant in football.
Cincinnati might be top 10 this year going into the season.
Right. But here's what I'm saying. Is it an anomaly or is it the new standard? Okay. But the point is we're having that conversation. Spring game. Year 1, year 2. Keep in mind too, last year, even with your 4 wins, your numbers had your players getting drafted. Your numbers had your players bring you have enough, you have roster, you have room for growth, you have your players. Like you didn't feel like you were, not on par with most of the ACC. You were disappointed about, if you're finding a way to blame the coach. I mean, I got into a back and forth last night, and this guy William, he had some comments on Satterfield fumbling, things, and I'm like, well, he didn't fumble, like what does he fumble? He fumbled, leaving Malik Cunningham in after 13 turnovers. I'm like, 6 of those turnovers were 4th and goal, and we're losing. We got to go for it. They were bad situational tip pass turnover.
Desperation. We're kind of I'm gonna wing it up there, knowing it could get it.
Right.
But I'm gonna try.
Yeah, we're a punt style turnover. So at a 13, and then again, and then I'm like, the backup quarterback play wasn't great.
Yeah. So do you want you want Malik Williams fumbling, or you want Evan Conley in?
That one run, William. That one run against Wake Forest. Did you see our backups against Miami and Virginia? And
you got me saying Williams now. I'm like Malik Williams.
Right. So
the quarterback.
We talk about those two so much, you got to forgive us. So the point to that is the back and forths. We at the very least have to be split down the middle. You know what I'm saying? And I am not split down the middle. I think 75 to 80% of it has been exactly what you want. If you're me, if you hire this coach, he's 80%. He definitely gets a B, so far, right?
Oh, I think so too. Yeah.
And
because we overachieved the first year.
Expectation wise.
But then that set expectations for the next year,
right,
which made him underperform last year.
Right. And again, COVID doesn't happen. I don't think maybe we're as bad as, I'll stay away from that one. I'll stay away from the COVID excuse.
I know this is like something we're going to get into later, but it's something Bleacher Report's reporting.
Uh-huh.
I know the Texas-Oklahoma talk we'll get into about joining the SEC.
Right, breaking
but
news.
it said that they explored the ACC before trying to join the SEC.
Of course they did. Just throw that in there. Okay, so this is the thing. Spring game. Everybody listening to Coach Satterfield talk about the offense getting better and the defense getting better and the name, image, and likeness and what do you do and all this stuff. Only thing I heard, the only thing I didn't want to hear be spun into some kind of crazy negative is Coach Satterfield's comments on spring game exposure. Oh, baby.
That's what I threw in my Sports Center.
Oh, baby, Coach. Let's go have a drink. Coach, I know you're busy. Let's have a drink. Bartender, let me get 2 Tito's. 2 Tito's and tonic light ice. Coach, I think you're doing a great job. This is Marques, Vince, and Coach Satterfield in the old Brownies where everybody met to get business deals done. In the old Brownies in the corner. You know,
Brownies the Shed?
Yeah, the Shed, yeah.
Yeah, the one that was on the corner of Hirschborn and Taylorsville before it moved over to
the old one. Yeah, right? Like, you remember how nice that one was? Like,
it was awesome. It had the little courtyard on the side where they set up some cornhole usually.
You could be public but private, public, private.
You could sit back in the side room to the left that kind of had the booths.
Okay. Marques, Coach Satterfield, Vince Tyree. 3 Tito's. Tito's and tonic, whatever. Do what you do. Hey, y'all. Listen. I think y'all are doing a great job. There's no doubt in my mind, everybody had their work cut out for you, including me, I might add. So I don't think for 1 second, I don't want y'all to think that y'all got y'all got the tough job and me trying to fight off 40, Cat West, Bozich, Courier, I got to fight off 8 powerful media entities on a day-to-day basis to buy you guys time for us to, really get it rolling. This is hard, right? So we all assume our part of this work, right? But I got to say this, man. I don't need you giving them ammunition. And Coach and Vince, like, again, this spring game, y'all are underestimating how important this is. Y'all are I'm riding with you. But to you, it's just a thing. It's just a tool. To them, we've come so far in our football program. We've come so far. These facilities that were built before you guys got here, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears invested. It's a lot of, we're going to force ourselves to go to the spring game to make it into a thing. We beg for the spring game. We beg for it to be bigger. We beg for our school to be bigger. CUSA, Big East football, AAC football, like I say, USA. We've been working so hard to get on ESPN. We changed. We were being mocked for going Thursday night. We were the birth of NFL moving to Thursday night, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. We showed there's a Thursday night market for football. We made our biggest jump by going Thursday night, or one of the bigger jumps. And this is pre-ACC. Thursday, there is a market, y'all. We took it. We had to blood, sweat, and tears for exposure. Why do you think it was such a big deal to finally? Who did I argue down on the radio that I loved listening to? Used to be on there with Le Batard. You remember we had him call into the show.
Yeah, it was
What was his name? Gosh darn it. He got in trouble and then he kind of got.
It was the basketball guy, right?
No, now you talking about Jay Williams that time.
No, not
I'm
Jay.
talking about the white guy that said, he got on our radio. He got on 93.9, very popular guy.
Chris Mannix?
No,
it wasn't him.
What's his name? Steve should know his name. Well, anyway, point being, he sat here and told me on this 93.9, and I respect this guy. Like, he was at ESPN. He was like one of the biggest guys at ESPN at the time, or one of the biggest up and comers. Man, you got
me thinking.
And he got on this air and was like, "Are you kidding? Louisville never get college game day." And I was like, hold on, dude. Like, listen, man,
I can't say that on Louisville Airways.
Listen, I appreciate you joining the show. You're big time ESPN guy. All that good stuff, right? But Louisville's with Lamar Jackson, dude, we can get a game day. He used to work with Scott Van Pelt. The other dude.
Not John Anderson, right?
No, you kind of getting
closer.
Yeah. Oh,
Adam Amin?
No. The other day, Ryan Russillo, thank you, Texter. Ryan Russillo
right.
for the 100 that was the $1 million answer. Thank you. Ryan Russillo, y'all. Ryan Russillo was the up and comer. Ryan Russillo got on 93.9 middays with Marques Maybin, and I had to just tell him, dude, you're wrong. You're wrong. I love listening to you, Mr. Russillo, but you're wrong.
That's right. I remember having him on.
Yeah,
I had a caller say Stugotz. I was like, we haven't had Stugotz on. I remember that one.
Not yet. But here's again. I want y'all to relive these experiences because this is okay. This is not quite to the level, but some schools don't understand the players not being able to, they don't know the riff, the basketball team riffs. That's why it pisses everybody off when they see somebody like Dick Vitale, who has no idea what's going on at the University of Louisville, retweeting Purvis Ellison, stuff. You remember I made a point, Brian, I say, a lot of these older guys, these older gentlemen who are the most powerful, they're still pissed off at the dunk, they're still pissed off at Scooter McCrae and Rodney. They beat, like, think about it.
That was in their prime.
Yes. That's when they're hurt. They're still hurt. It's like you're in 40 years.
Like, I still heard about DeJuan Wheat's rolled ankle.
In 40 years in this state, you're going to say the name Frank the Tank.
Frank Moreau?
No.
I'm kidding.
Okay. Frank the Tank Comiskey. And literally, if any older person in a position of power can do something when he hears that name, he'll do it. 40 years from now, if he's a judge and Frank the Tank who moved to Kentucky and he saw him in his courtroom, he ain't gonna feel some kind of way.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, we have a chip on our shoulder about exposure. We have a USA chip. I came to Louisville because we had the #1 schedule, Brian. This was one of the reasons. We had the #1 schedule in the country, and we were Conference USA. We had like 17 nationally televised games. Your fight for that's why we had the #1 schedule. We want to be on TV, and we want to play everybody on TV who can play, right? Coaches, you want to just win. Yes, winning is a cure-all, but your program strength for hard times even is when you do the things that you know are getting us a national marker. And again, it's not just the win. The win's great, but if you win in and you're scheduling like Kentucky,
yeah,
it doesn't work. I mean,
Will Monroe doesn't count, all right?
Listen, and I'm joking, but I'm not joking. If Kentucky wipes out with all the SEC schools, like, thank God they're in the SEC, with scheduling. Scheduling is important here. Listen, Rick Pitino came here from the Boston Celtics. And you know what people were pissed about? His schedule.
You know what's funny? Because I just thought about this. You know how all the shuffling's going on. If Kentucky was not in the SEC to begin with, I really wonder where they would be, because they do have one of the premier basketball programs, but a lot of the conference alignment movement has been based on the football team.
Yeah, that's, like I said, that's our other conversation, right? But let's leave it here. We did talk about that a little too much yesterday, so I was kind of not want to go there. Okay, but still, there is an exposure chip on Louisville's shoulder. Will we all agree with that? There's a big exposure chip. The spring game, the fans had to eat it, but they weren't happy about it. And they all knew when the spring games were rolling, even though the fans ate it, they were angry on the low. I have to watch Miami. I have to turn on, when I get on my Fire Stick and I go to the ESPN app and I move my channel down to the ACC network, I have 24 hours of spring games. And that's the only content. So they're running these spring games. There's no other sports going on. Brian, we're watching, as football fans, we're watching spring game after spring game after spring game. Listen, we love our coach and we trust our coach, but we're a little mad at our coach because we have a spring game, we have an exposure chip. And now all of us are saying, I can't believe I don't get to watch my team and compare my team to any of these other teams. I got to watch every other team in the conference on the ACC network. We've been fighting for this for forever, to have our own network, to be on the spring game, to have our spring game televised, to show everybody how awesome our facilities were. That's why we were so happy about our expansion and getting it closed in and all this good stuff. And God, these other schools, their stadiums suck. We should be on TV right now. This is in our DNA. By the way, speaking of ACC network conversation, Drew Diener, you owe me a drink and you were right and I was wrong. What am I talking about, Drew? 4 or 5 years ago, we sat in ESPN Louisville studios. We sat straight across from each other. And I said, Drew, I wouldn't be in a rush to sign an ESPN deal if I'm the ACC network. I said, Drew, that's a really long deal we're talking about here. And I mean, I know ESPN is, but I was like, Drew, slow down on this deal. Like, you're like, no, it's a great deal. Get them locked in. And, you know, there's always going to be, cable rights. And I'm just like, I don't know, Drew. And listening to him this morning talk about there is no movement that the ACC can make because they are stuck like Chuck. No, Notre Dame gets to stay independent. Texas probably going to go independent. Oh, ACC should have held off on that 30-year deal. Like, my goodness, you did not know that. Yeah, but I mean, listen, again, nobody can predict the future, but this was a long-range deal just to get locked into. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
So anyway, back to the spirit of the fan base, the base spirit of the fan base. Vince and Scott, and I'm saying this because we're sitting around having drinks. I don't have to use your formal names. We're sitting around, we're having cocktails. Exposure to the fan base is everything that they fight for down deep. Outside of make sure UK plays us. That backlash that Coach Matt got, he had to make that video. He doesn't even know how. Listen, the sports gods came to Coach Mack. Coach Mack, I got an idea for you. You can take it or leave it. You need to make a video explaining exactly what's going on between this UK and U of L game. The ancestors, the Louisville ancestors, will literally haunt you for the rest of your life if you let UK start backing out of this basketball game by, oh, well, last year it got canceled, so this year we don't know if we can. the ancestors, it wouldn't be good for you. Right? Would you agree with that?
No, I would agree.
Yeah, just it took us 50 years to get this game. Mac, I don't care what you have to do, coach. This has to happen. Okay, so there's a couple little things that, and this is what Griff, being the ambassador. Listen, we just got an email from him, you know, maybe this morning, maybe last night. I just read it this morning. We got an email to talk about things, you know. These are some things that they have to know. Like it might, in some other program, it might not be a big deal. Exposure conversation, and don't mess around with my UK game. These are real things. So yesterday, Coach says, maybe I might do the spring game thing because of the exposure that the other teams got. Oh, baby. Oh, Coach. I'm glad you realized that, but you can't say that out loud. Because now everybody thinks they're smarter than you. And I get what I'm saying. Every fan already thinks they're smarter than you. I get that. But to the scientific or to the ego of the Louisville fan, that exposure is really high on their level of importance. And to you, maybe it wasn't as high before. And now you saw everybody else get their spring games on TV. And then you said, I'm willing to add the spring game because of the exposure. And the spirit of the Louisville fan is saying, oh, coach, don't tell me you just now realizing how much exposure we missed out on that one. Like I said, Coach, I don't even blame him for not knowing the okay. He found out also during the South Carolina thing.
Yeah.
We just have a couple of insecurities, you know, and biting at these insecurities will make your life difficult here.
Definitely.
You know, so yeah, the spirit of exposure of your program is just something that I hope Coach Mack, Coach Satterfield, Vince Tyree, the spirit of exposure and your Kentucky game is so much more important than you think. You're not running. This is not okay. Other university stuff is just university stuff. Appalachian State, wherever else you run your program, you run your program generally the same. But all your fan bases have finicky items, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And that's definitely one of them. So yesterday, in my ears, that was one of those. I don't blame you, Coach, but we got to have a talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So for all the years that you're here, make sure you just tell everybody exposure for the program is the most important thing. and then listen, dominate UK, exposure for the program, and win. Quick commercial break, Middays with Marques Maybin on 929 The Ville.
We are in the thick of summer, and with the hottest days of the year ahead, you are about to find out how strong your cooling system is. And if you find out that it's not ready for the long summer ahead, then call DFH Company today at 968-6222. Right now, when you buy a qualifying Trane HVAC system, receive 18-month special financing. It's hard to stop a Trane, so call DFH 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Subject to credit approval.
Hey, Card Nation, let's be honest. The real estate market in Kentucky is booming, and whether you want to buy or sell a home, now is the perfect time to do it. With interest rates at an all-time low and programs that can get you in a home for no money down. Want to learn more? It's simple. Just call Derek A. Stewart with Dream JP Pirtle. Derek is available virtually around the clock to listen, understand, and help you with all your realtor needs. So don't waste another second. Call Derek A. Stewart at 502-314-9868 today.
There's nothing more important than a child's health. That's why Body Armor Sports Drink is proud to partner with Walmart and Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, raising funds for 156 children's hospitals across the U.S. Children's hospitals are on the front lines when it comes to protecting the health of our future generations, but they are not alone. Please join Body Armor Sports Drink to support the cause. Together, when we change kids' health, we change the future. Go to children'smiraclenetworkhospitals.org to donate and learn more. That's children'smiraclenetworkhospitals.org.
Are you looking for your next opportunity in the workforce? Look no further. UPS Jobs Kentucky is now hiring at upsjobsky.com. Right now, we are offering up to $18.50 an hour. You may even be eligible for a program that helps you graduate college completely debt-free and could also include a $325 a month living allowance paid directly to you. Follow us at UPS Jobs Kentucky and apply today at upsjobsky.com.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
My husband's ED was affecting our marriage. When he first started experiencing ED, it was difficult for both of us. We didn't know who to talk to about it or where to get help. HIMS was our answer. HIMS connected my husband with a licensed provider online. He was able to get medication to treat his ED at a fraction of the price people pay for the name brand. It was delivered to our door, and guess what? Our sex life is back. It works.
Right now, get your first online provider's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/love. Yep, free. No copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Just the care you need.
Thanks to HIMS, we got our sex life and our marriage back.
To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/love. That's forhims.com/love for your free online visit. forhims.com/LOVE.
Fire's in! Oh, what a firecracker from Jimmy McLaughlin!
Hey, it's Jeff Greer. Lou City is back in action tonight as the boys in purple hit the road to take on Colorado Springs. Join Casey Whitfield and me starting at 8:45 for pregame coverage, followed by the game broadcast at 9 p.m., and it's all right here on ESPN 680, 105.7, 93.9 The Ville, and the ESPN Louisville app.
At Kroger, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store and pick and pack every veggie in your free pickup order with care because we treat your food the way we'd want ours to be treated. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
And now you'll find more ways to save on your favorites. When you download digital coupons, you can use up to 5 times in one transaction. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Ready to make something great? At GE Appliances, we do it every day, building appliances people depend on. GE Appliance Park is hiring full-time for all shifts. Join our manufacturing production team and be part over 100 years of American manufacturing. Apply today at makeitatthepark.com. Make a difference? Make it at GE Appliance Park. Makeitatthepark.com.
Miss anything from your favorite shows? Head over to the GE Appliances Podcast Center on ESPNLouisville.com. Apply today at makeitathepark.com.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
The athletes have trained and are in Tokyo ready to compete for gold. DraftKings, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is giving you a shot to stand on the podium. This week, DraftKings is giving you 100-1 odds on the United States medaling at least once this year. Place any pre-event wager of $1.
I think we got DFH and Beer Nose. Do we have a DraftKings Olympics
This year. That's 100-1.
I think so.
An athlete to stand on
because they just did the opening ceremony this morning.
Sign up for
I think they're airing it in America tonight.
Action. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WLCL when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 in free credits if America wins a medal. That's code WLCL for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or
I think I have it. I can print it.
customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
On this one, we might I might start playing the music at a certain point and try.
I didn't expect to be so long-winded on my point, but the elders were speaking through me. All of the years of Louisville football, they were channeling their energy. Like, Marques, it is your responsibility to let everyone know the exposure is something important to us. So that's why I went a little longer than expected in that part of the conversation. But here's the thing. I got to step outside of football for a second. Your boy Maybin, y'all going to learn something about me. The reason, a lot of times, the reason people they take what I say a lot really harshly is because they know I wouldn't say it to you if I didn't mean it with a serious tone. I mean it. But the other 90% of the time, just give me a hard time, right? I'm giving everybody a hard time. Brian, you're supposed to be quicker with that. I'm giving them a hard time. Drew, wash your car. I'm giving him a hard time. But, sometimes when Drew needs it, I say, hey, Drew, let's talk. Your car, it's filthy. Steve, sometimes it's giving him
car's filthy.
We heard.
How'd you hear?
Words out on the street, Brian, that your car is filthy.
Oh no.
Oh yes, that's the word on the street. So for the most part, 90% of the time, I'm just giving everybody a hard time and all that good stuff. But sometimes my mom even told me, I told y'all, my mom told me, be careful, Marques, because you have a way about your tone that gets people's attention. Hey, y'all. I just nearly got my rear end handed to me in the hallways of ESPN Louisville. There's been a recent joke that I've made about one particular young lady that works in this building. And I made some comments about her delicately forceful the way she strides through the offices and how I can hear them and I can feel the ground shake. I mean, maybe I have good hearing or just maybe
I feel it. I feel the floor shake.
Right. Let me go. Let me die alone on this hill.
Okay, you do.
I don't want to bring anybody in on this. Hey, y'all. I heard Dawn walking through the hallways, stomping through the hallways. And I was in the bathroom. I left the bathroom, just finished washing my hands. And I opened the door and I said, that better not be Dawn I hear stomping through this place. Dawn was not in the mood. Ooh. After the morning I had, Dawn said, I just spilled my water and it went on my computer and I was like, whoa. I didn't know police.
Bad timing, Marques.
The timing police had to come up and break this thing up. Oh my God, Dawn, I'm sorry. I was just giving you a hard time and everybody knows. Oh, everybody knows I didn't mean anything by it. My God. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, y'all. All is forgiven. I've received my what is it called? My olive branch.
Yeah, you just got your okay.
Dawn just got me my olive branch. So it's one of those. She vented. I was on the receiving end of that vent. But man, I was in trouble on that one. Real quick, speaking of shout outs, Jack Mills. Do you know that name, Brian?
No. I'll clap after I hear the name.
Jack Mills is the name. Brian, you just clap right now. Please. Trust me on this one. Jack Mills took care of ESPN Louisville today in a major way. Now, I'm not going to say how.
Okay.
But trust me.
Thank you, Jack.
Yes. All Jack Mills. Shout out to Jack Mills. Listen. Moms Ford, Charles McGee, Jack Mills. We love having y'all in the family. and Brian, just trust me. You're going to appreciate what Jack Mills has brought to the table. Just kind of leave it at that.
Okay.
You know, he's now a big time contributor to ESPN Louisville. So definitely give a big shout out. Is there any more off the table shout outs that I need to give? Let me do a quick check on that. Oh, Burlington. You get the opposite of shout out. What's the opposite of shout out, Brian?
We don't talk about you.
No, this is
shout out, shut up.
Burlington, you get a poor grade. You get a poor grade for yesterday. And I love you, Burlington. I love that store. Brian, even if it's just 12 minutes, I love shooting through Burlington.
Me too. They always got some really good deals.
You can just stumble into something awesome. Brian, I went into Burlington. Man, 8 people in the line. The scanner wasn't working. 57 minutes it took me to get a hat in Burlington. Bless her heart. She was trying. And those 2 ladies that were doing your school shopping, I don't know what that was. I don't know if y'all were school shopping or y'all opening a clothing store. But 2 ladies, I think they were sisters, and they were at the 2 other counters because they finally brought somebody over there to help. And Brian, I've never seen 2 ladies with 55 items apiece. And we're talking about baby clothes, Brian, where you couldn't tell if they were like together as one or supposed to be scanned separate. You know how little baby outfits are sometimes a 2-piece, and sometimes they're matched together, but they're not necessarily sold together. Oh my God. It was just item after item after item after item. And then when I got up, all I wanted was my little shirt and my little hat. And the scanner wouldn't work for barbecue and award-winning chili, 4 Pegs. If you're just looking for some cold craft, tap, can, or bottled beer, 4 Pegs. And the best part about Four Pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2020 Summer Games, sponsored by Bank of America. Customized cash rewards credit card. Earn 3% cash back and online shopping. Let the games begin. Four-time Grand Slam champ Naomi Osaka lit the cauldron. And so the Summer Games are officially underway as the opening ceremony wrapped up in Tokyo this morning. It was a slightly more subdued opening ceremony than years past. The opening performance lasted 45 minutes and included a moment of silence to remember those who lost their lives during the COVID pandemic. Then the Parade of Nations kicked off with, as usual, Greece leading the way. Basketball star Sue Bird and Marlins infielder Eddie Alvarez served as Team USA's flag bearers, leading 200 athletes marching from Team USA. It ended with a performance of John Lennon's Imagine, sung by performers from each region of the world, with John Lennon singing for the Americas and Keith Urban for Oceania. With the Summer Games update, I'm Erica Herskowitz, Westwood One Sports.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb. All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs. Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by Beer Nose Pizza. Yeah, it's that good. Our coverage of the ACC Football Media Days continued yesterday. The Louisville head coach Scott Satterfield sat down with our very own Drew Diener and Marques yesterday, and he talked about the possibility of airing the spring game going forward.
We want to be a part of that, and so I think next year we'll get a date, and they'll be able to televise our spring game, and then we'll get some people out and watch us. That'll be fun.
Louisville quarterback Malik Cunningham also joined the guys, and he talked about how he's handling the new NIL deals.
I actually got a little marketing team together, so those guys handle all of my stuff, so they just tell me what I need to do, how I need to do it, so I can keep my focus on football season and the team and our goals. So I've basically been putting that in the rearview mirror and letting my mom and those guys handle that. So, I've been locked in.
You can catch both those interviews and all of our other ACC Media Day interviews in full at the ESPN Louisville SoundCloud page or at 939theville.com. Moving on to Major League Baseball news, the 49-47 Cincinnati Reds will be back in action tonight when they kick off a 3-game series with the St. Louis Cardinals. First pitch for tonight's game set for 7:10, but our coverage will begin around 6:45 on ESPN 680. In minor league baseball news, the Louisville Bats lost their fourth straight 3-0 to the Memphis Redbirds. They'll be back in action again against the Redbirds tonight at Louisville Slugger Field at 7 o'clock. And last but certainly not least, in soccer news, Louisville City FC will be back in action tonight when they take on Colorado Springs at 8:45. We'll have that coverage on all ESPN Louisville formats. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marques Maybin is next. This is Sports Center.
We are so proud to have brought the price relief to the people of Louisville that they deserve.
Wendy Canavan, Vice President of Genesis Diamonds, reflecting on Genesis Diamonds' first decade in Louisville.
We have shaken up the marketplace because our prices are incredibly lower.
The fact is, before Genesis, everyone here paid more.
Diamond prices were higher. It was kind of like there was a standardized pricing. Everybody charged it and the customers bought it.
But now you get access to the world's finest diamonds at true direct importer prices.
prices.
They're amazed when they see how far their dollar goes at Genesis Diamonds and the beauty and quality of our diamonds.
Is this the year you get engaged or celebrate a milestone anniversary? Get the value you deserve at Genesis.
Customers say, I've heard your radio commercials. I can honestly tell you it's true. We hear it every day. We never lose a customer over price.
Genesis Diamonds, proud to be a part of this amazing city going into our 11th year with tens of thousands of satisfied customers. Shelbyville Road Plaza.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial #LAW on your cell phone. That's #529, offices Louisville.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold crab, tap, can, or bottled beer? 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
You're listening to Middays with Marques Maybin, broadcasting live.
I'm looking it up right now. I just remembered.
Video on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marques Maybin and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Middays with Marques Maybin, 8150. 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. I got to do a couple things. First and foremost, I have to remind everyone that is listening right now the value of temperature control, because temperature control is one of the most important resources one can have, especially if you live in the Ohio Valley area. But temperature control is one of the most valuable resources you can have. And if you agree, then DFH Company has got to be the company for you. Just dial 968-6222, or you can look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Make sure you look into the Mitsubishi mini split, like the one we use at our studio for that hard to heat, hard to cool room in your home. Again, 968-6222, or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. And what other out of all the things that make Friday the best day of the week for most people, here at the studio, this is the one of the moments we look forward to. Thanks, Phil. And also thanks to George and the Bernos team for dropping off lunch to the ESPN Louisville studios. Thinking lunch or dinner? Bernos has you covered. Tonight and this weekend, all Bernos now delivering alcohol. Carry out and delivery to your home. Support local. Reminder, Bernos by the Bridge is having an NBA draft watch party next Thursday. Wait, darn it. Next Thursday? What's today's date? No, they got the date wrong.
No, the draft's on the 29th of July.
I don't know who put this together, but is it call out time? Thursday is not July 23rd. So
today is July 23rd.
Yes, don't make me to look back. This reminds me of the Charles Barkley. Do you remember when they made Charles Barkley read the teleprompter and he said, I am a
No, it's also like some Ron Burgundy going on here.
You tried to turn me into next Thursday, July 23rd.
It's the 29th, and it is next Thursday.
Next to the KFC. So the 29th, next Thursday, next to the KFC Yum Center, complimentary appetizers, 1 drink ticket, great food, NBA draft party. Yeah, it's that good. Bernos Pizza. And I'm sorry, George, for butchering your read. I'm sorry for butchering your your advertisement.
I'll fix it. I can't wait for Beer Nose to come in today. It's my favorite day of the week when Beer Nose comes in. I love their pizza.
Also, let me give there's one other important business shout out that I want to pass along. But I don't have that right now. Okay. So get those out of the way first. Now, I have to tell everybody about a new partner. I get to bestowed the honor to tell everyone about a new partner who will be, who's actually going to be a partner of the show in many ways.
This is a Midday sponsor?
Yes, indeed. We'll be tailgating together. In the future, I'll be giving out locations for said tailgates. We might do some on locations. But today is just kind of an introduction to our guy, Andrew Mullins, for TBF Mortgage Company. If you're confused about mortgage rules, when financing your home, you need an expert in the mortgage field working for you. The fastest growing mortgage brokers in the Louisville and surrounding areas. As a mortgage broker, TBF has the experienced lender connections to get you a great rate with the right terms. Again, Andrew Mullins and TBF Mortgages. They will become a consistent part of this show. Texter, that is funny. No, we do miss one of our famous guys, Moon Mullins. But no, this is Andrew Mullins of TBF. This is mortgages that he will start to make clear for you how it works. And here's the thing. Being that he's going to become such a partner of the show, I will make sure everyone that is going to be in the market, and we're talking about pre-approved loans, just a quick phone call away, refinancing, buying homes, we are going to be able to provide you with so many answers if you're getting into the housing industry, the market at all. So this will be the place. Again, we're going to put together some call-ins, questions, some situations where we can answer a lot of questions. Today, again, I just wanted to announce our partnership, and I will be able to go into the details, maybe have him on and get to explain a little bit better on how he can best serve our listeners. He's been a big partner of the show for a long time. He actually just didn't realize how easy it was, just a phone call away and say, hey, I'd like to be a part of your show. And I'm like, I'd love to have you. And we kind of go from there. So it's a really easy thing to do. So like I said, I'm not the best at explaining the mortgage industry, but today, just make sure everybody knows we are now associated with Andrew Mullins and TBF Mortgages. That works. Yeah. One more before I get into the good stuff. Let's do this. This works. DraftKings Sportsbook is not only my favorite sportsbook, but also America's top-rated sportsbook. Speaking of America, our top athletes are over in Tokyo competing for the gold, and DraftKings has a medal-worthy offer just for my listeners. Listen to this great offer, y'all. Place any pre-event wager of $1 to be eligible to cash $100 in free credits if America wins any medal this year. 100-1 odds on an American athlete to stand on the podium and receive a gold, silver, or bronze this week. 100-1 odds on an offer like this doesn't come around. So sign up the DraftKings Sportsbook now and get in all the action. I love using DraftKings Sportsbook. It's easy to navigate and has plenty of instructions for new bettors and nearly limitless ways to get in on all of the action. My friends and family have been loving DraftKings Sportsbook, and I know you will too. Listen, download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code WLCL when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 in free credits if America wins a gold medal. That's code WLCL to turn $1 into $100 in free credit for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Indiana only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. So, I'm getting out of the mood of sports stories. I'm getting out of the mood of football stories and football narratives. I'm getting in the mood to talking football. And here's what put me in the mood. I'm going to tell you what my last straw was. Ironically, it's normally my last straw every morning. I don't know why I keep going back to this certain drink. This drink is the Drew Diener Show. I heard something he said, and it made me, it threw me off, y'all. Morning commute. I went back to Burlington's, by the way, this morning to make sure I had a better experience, to get the last night's experience off my back.
Did it go better?
Yes, it did.
By the way, the DraftKings read you did, I mean, maybe you should start doing that going forward.
Why do you say that? What happened?
That was clean. That was perfect. Like you read right through it. No pauses, nothing.
I didn't think so. So, well, thank you, Ryan. I do appreciate that one. Let me say this. I listened this morning, and I was listening to Drew Diener
while you were at Burlington's.
No, it's when I got back in my car.
Oh, okay.
Bought a blue shirt, by the way.
Snazzy. Nice.
I haven't bought a blue shirt in 10 years, 10, 15 years. I can't even think of the last blue shirt I bought. I bought a blue shirt. So, Drew Diener, I heard something. He said he didn't feel, or he couldn't get a good read. I won't put words in his mouth. I'm paraphrasing. He didn't necessarily feel the Ole Miss excitement, right? But I want Drew to understand some sounds are made through silence, right? Some people would rather be screamed at than ignored with the silence, because the silence is like, there's something like bigger going on when it goes completely silent. That is anticipation. That is not bravado. Sometimes, like Brian, you and I were caught being false bravado sometimes with Alabama, right? We went into the Auburn game with Reggie Bonifant, but we had some Bobby Petrino swag, the Alabama thing. I mean, Alabama's still Alabama, but it was still one of those ultimate nothing to lose games. So it's easy to be chesty when there's nothing to lose, because it can be fun, and you don't know how serious it's being taken. But nothing to lose, Alabama. Let's just go get them. Let's just lay it all on the line. No, a world against us conversation. Here's the problem. Drew, I don't think he knows this, but the reason Drew doesn't hear the bravado, the Alabama nothing to lose bravado, because Coach Satterfield is convincing us that we can win. A 7-point spread, 7.5 to the Louisville fan base. I want people to understand this. To the Louisville fan base against an SEC team, 7 points is a pick 'em. Repeat. We talked about the history of the DNA inside the Louisville fan. 7-point spread against an SEC team. Louisville fans know that means we're a problem, because Louisville fans automatically know you're going to make us the underdog against any SEC team, no matter what. You're going to get Vegas knows better. Vegas knows what I'm saying is Louisville's fan base knows that Vegas knows every school. If you played Vanderbilt would be a 4.5-point favorite. You could have the year when we watched Lamar run over, Mississippi State. We watched Malik run through Mississippi State, right? We're not getting credit on spreads. you automatically have to make an SEC school a 7-point favorite over a school like Louisville because there's too many people that still just aren't looking at the product that you're putting out this year. They're making judgments based on the last, this many years of work when it might be a different team. We're still getting flack for 2-10 because the confirmation bias kicks in. Whenever you have a good year and then you finally get beat, listen, Booger McFarland still thinks he's right about everything Lamar Jackson and everything Louisville. Booger McFarland is still waiting on some horrible bad moment to say, I told you so about Lamar Jackson. I told you so about Louisville. He acted like we couldn't play with anybody. You know what I'm saying? And LSU did give it to us, though. So he was right about that part. But it's like, Desmond, Michigan. What's his name?
Howard.
Desmond Howard. Has he ever picked for Louisville? Like, even when Louisville was favored, he picks us to get upset.
Yeah.
Any big name, he picks us to either get blown out or get upset. Mm-hmm. Every single time. 7-point spread, game on. So Drew doesn't realize that you don't hear it because everybody's locked in. Mm-hmm. This is nerves. This is we should win this game. Like there are, if we shouldn't win, but these are the opportunities that you pray for in the football world. So every real Louisville football fan is looking at Ole Miss. We care more about Ole Miss Media Day and see what they have to say than our own right now. You get what I'm saying. I'm not saying we don't care about our own Media Day, but what I'm saying is when you think you really have a shot and when you know it's going to be a knockdown drag out, or if you feel like you're evenly matched, you don't really talk because you don't need the extra juice. We want to win this game. We need to win this game. The fan base has said, the players, listen, Kentucky rivalries. When you play Kentucky, the team that cuts up the most is usually the underdog. Would you agree with that? The team that comes out trying to start fights and running their mouth, they're usually the big time underdog, right?
Yeah.
Alabama, we have sound of us that'll never go away because we were a 24-point underdog.
Yeah.
There's no shame at the end of the Alabama game. You know what I'm saying? It's some humbling, right? It's some humbling.
I agree.
But yeah, there's not the shame. So Steve even feels like, hey, man, I don't have to troll Lane Kiffin anymore. It's a 7-point spread. Game on. Right? So I think that's why. And I think, again, the closer you get to the game, here's the thing, Brian. I've gotten more conversation about going to the game and not just like caravan. Like, no, like okay, so what are we going to do about this game plan? Like, people are putting together their game plans to go down to Atlanta and watch a real football game. And this is not oh man, we finally get to play. Oh my God, we get to play number 1 Alabama. No, our first game is Ole Miss. Coach Satt says his line's improved. His D line's improved. He's never had a team this fast overall. You feel like you brought in some grad transfers and transfers and key positions you needed. We've put the appropriate pressure on the coach in the offseason. We're having expectations now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we listen to the national writers. And when you start putting Jalen Mitchell on these, Doak Campbells and you start putting these running backs and quarterbacks on these watch lists, we're getting closer to expectation, not false bravado. So that's why you may feel like it's not as hype as it is, but it's definitely hype. Again, you're holding your breath getting to the game, not just talking to be talking. So I tell you what, I don't want to transition into this last conversation. So I'll take this early break. It'll be our last break. Middays with Marques Maybin on 93.9 The Ville.
Hey everyone, I'm Brandon Lang. When Matthew McConaughey plays you in a movie, as he did me in 2005's Two for the Money, you have to maintain a certain image. That's hard to do when you're going bald. I needed to do something, and it needed to be done fast. Parsley Waldman's Hair Center came to the rescue. Louisville and the Midwest Premier Hair Treatment Center not only gave me my hair back, but my self-confidence as well. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out how you can start your journey back to a full head of hair today. I can tell you firsthand. From the minute you walk in the door to the time you leave, you are treated as if you were in a 5-star hotel. And now that it's been a year since my surgery, I look back at pictures from a couple years ago. I don't even look like the same person. The procedure was an amazing success, and it has totally reframed my face. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out not only how affordable it is, but how you can get your hair back today. Visit hairsurgery.com. That's hairsurgery.com, and tell them Brandon Lang sent you.
Hey everybody, Steve Rummage here. And if you have listened to 93.9 The Ville over the last few months, you know I've reminded you of 3 simple words. Call Josh Jarbo. Josh is a licensed realtor and owner of RE/MAX Alliance. And with the spring market heating up, he wants to make your home buying or selling process as efficient as possible by offering a guaranteed sale program and instant offers on commercial listings. And if that wasn't enough, up to $5,000 seller credit by mentioning you heard it right here. So don't wait any longer and contact Josh Jarbo at 502-216-7590 or joshjarbo at remax.net.
You've shared half your life together.
Built your family and careers together.
She doesn't just complete your sentences, she completes you.
Isn't it time to tell her you'd marry her all over again? I'm Hank Davis.
And I'm Hank's daughter, Ashley, from Davis Jewelers, suggesting maybe it's time for that second diamond, the diamond you've always wanted to give her, but now you can afford.
Here at our famous Davis Jewelers Diamond Bar, you'll find 3 to 4 times the quality certified diamonds you'll find in average stores.
2, 3, 4-carat diamonds in stock every day at the guaranteed best price in Kentuckiana.
And the diamond professionals to help you create not just her ultimate diamond ring, but a true family legacy.
So when you want to say, I love you, on her birthday, your anniversary, or just because it's time,
give her that second diamond from Louisville's largest fine jeweler.
Where love, it's what we do.
Davis Jewelers, Louisville's largest fine jeweler. Forest Green Boulevard, just off North Hurstbourne Parkway, and at davisjewelers.com.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
My husband's ED was affecting our marriage. When he first started experiencing ED, it was difficult for both of us. We didn't know who to talk to about it or where to get help. HIMSS was our answer. HIMSS connected my husband with a licensed provider online. He was able to get medication to treat his ED at a fraction of the price people pay for the name brand. It was delivered to our door, and guess what? Our sex life is back. It works.
Right now, get your first online provider's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/love. Yep, free. No copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Just the care you need.
Thanks to HIMSS, we got our sex life and our marriage back.
To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/love. That's forhims.com/love for your free online visit. forhims.com/LOVE.
Fire's in! Oh, what a firecracker from Jimmy McLaughlin!
Hey, it's Jeff Greer. Lou City is back in action tonight as the boys in purple hit the road to take on Colorado Springs. Join Casey Whitfield and me starting at 8:45 for pregame coverage, followed by the game broadcast at 9 p.m. And it's all right here on ESPN 680, 105.7, 93.9 The Ville, and the ESPN Louisville app.
Lanning Paints is truly Louisville's hometown paint manufacturer. We create architectural coatings for homes and ship our industrial and commercial products across the United States and even across the world. I am Aaron Lanning, and I am lucky enough to work alongside my father, Nick, who is our chemist and brainchild for our local brand. He is working daily to formulate finishes and coatings that will beautify your interior walls, basement and garage floors, driveways, fences, siding, brick, and more. Visit LanningPaint.com to learn more about us or call us at 245-0630 to reach our Middletown location or 612-2138 for Dixie Highway, where we proudly offer a full array of Benjamin Moore products Lanning Paints, painting the USA from Louisville, Kentucky since 1983.
We are Louisville's hometown sports station. ESPN 680, 1057, and 93.9 The Ville, with the most play-by-play of the biggest events, including the NCAA tournament and Final Four,
Wire-to-wire winner for the Baylor Bears.
the College Football National Championship,
The Crimson Tide will not be denied.
the NFL, and Super Bowl 54.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are Super Bowl 55 champions, led by Tom Brady.
The NBA Finals,
The Lakers conquer the bubble.
the World Series,
The Los Angeles Dodgers have won the World Series.
and the Kentucky Derby,
And they're into the stretch.
featuring exclusive coverage of the Triple Crown. Big game, big race, one place. ESPN 680, 1057, and 93.9 The Ville.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Question to my social media friends and family and all that good stuff. When I talked about being ready to make the transition from off season to season, I had to give my off season a grade. Now, Brian, you want to jump in on this one really quick?
Yeah.
Off season. What goes into your grading to see if you had a good off season? Obviously, recruiting,
any coaching changes.
Okay, so slow down.
I would say even some of the responses you get from the coaches in interviews, players' responses. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe from the workout coach, how the off-season workouts are going.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I was just writing down a couple of things, through the players and the workout responses. Okay. So your off season, your football off season, how would you grade it?
I would say I'll give it a solid. I want to say B+. And the reason I say that is because I know there wasn't really any of the overwhelmingly good recruits that just kind of blow you away, that you're just like, man, I can't wait to see that guy on campus. But they still had some quality recruits. They brought in some grad transfers, guys that should make immediate impacts. But I would say that the biggest, boost for the team would be the coaches talking, and the coaches are very high on this team. And I know you take it with a grain of salt. Everybody's going to talk high of their team, but you can just feel a different energy when Satterfield's talking about this team than the ones he's talked about in the past. I think you can also start to realize that I think he's starting to get his system implemented, and that the guys are starting to buy in. When you talk to the players are saying, it's really good to have the continuity of, this is the third year in a row that I've had my defensive coach with me.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're used to a lot of turnover at Louisville so far. And then you get some, I would say another one is analysts talking about the team is part of the offseason grade. I think there's been a couple people that have poo-pooed on the team, and then there's a couple people who have spoke very highly of the team being the potential team that could come up behind Clemson. So I don't think it's quite an A. I don't think it's a C. I'm going to go with a B+.
8150 93.9 is the number we're grading. 3831 93.9 is the text line. The YouTube channel is running on Made for the Ville. So what us doing, they're doing the hurricane schedule right now. They're going to get smashed. They're going to suck. Miami's going to get rolled. I'm just hating. Okay, so when talking about the grades, because I have to make a transition into, season conversation. Like I have to be done with the off season, because once you start talking Ole Miss and once you start talking about real production, you got your roster. Once you start getting depth charts, the moment you start getting depth charts is when your off season is pretty much over with. And so we're trying to find these lines of demarcation, into your season, because again, getting back to some kind of normalcy post COVID, and I'm saying post COVID, figuring it out, figuring out whatever protocols you're going to use, or all that good stuff. So really off balance season, post off balanceness of the season. So Texas says, how do we get William, my guy William says, how do we get 93.9 swag? We have swag. We do have swag. Actually, I need to get some. I think somebody probably got it in a box in their office or something. We do have some stuff. But I'll find it after the show. Line of demarcation, grading. Okay, Brian Hall says B+. I was waiting for the first texter to show up with a worse grade, because you say, okay, I see a B, and a man gonna bring the juice. Okay, B's, see B's around. Would all these B's be A's, Brian, if you brought in another quarterback?
I would think 100%. I think that's the one question mark that a lot of the fan base is worried about, because it's true. The success of the Louisville football team depends upon Cunningham.
So why aren't you at a C if it was so important that a quarterback be in the room? Is it because
I don't think Cunningham is, I think he's capable of doing it. It's just we've seen a good season and we've seen a bad season, or a subpar season from him. We've seen the turnover issues. So we know he's capable of doing more because of what he did 2 years ago, but we don't know if he's going to be the 2 years ago Cunningham or the last year Cunningham, and whether he is or isn't is really going to depend upon the success of the team. So I think Louisville fans are giving it the B because they're like, he's capable. We could do it, but they're worried.
Let me ask you, at the beginning of the offseason, at the beginning of the summer, and everybody's like, oh, we need a quarterback. We need a quarterback. Okay, so now where we are, have people just started to remember, like, you got past the emotion of a 4-win last season. Have people just started realizing, okay, everybody else thinks Malik is pretty good. We're mad at Malik because he's our quarterback. There was a big rush for offseason. All we need is a quarterback. All we need is more quarterbacks. We need quarterbacks in the room. Some of us think that Malik scared away some quarterbacks. And you look at his numbers are good enough to scare away a quarterback. And you don't get a quarterback. So and as I'm talking about this, I'm trying to figure out how much of a demerit do I, because I thought so too. I thought you needed an athletic quarterback. We didn't get a chance to spring game and see the backup, that's also one of the most important things. We forget how important the spring game is to see the backup quarterback. We were so juiced watching Puma Pass get backup quarterback reps. You know what I'm saying? In Lamar's last year, like, yeah, this is gonna be our next. Look how big he is. He's gonna be our quarterback next year. Like, we were enjoying that. So you forget also the importance of spring game to get a chance to see your 2 and 3 quarterback. But outside of getting a quarterback, a grad transfer market, I think we're heavy in that. I think we can really poach. Moving forward, I think we'll be able to really get a reputation for being able to get guys to be instant impact guys. And it's scary to go year to year having to rely on the grad transfer, but one-time transfer. I know nobody's comfortable. No school is ever going to be comfortable with the grad transfer being the guy that has to commit or has to contribute immediately. So I'm thinking PR wise, if we counted Coach Satterfield's South Carolina thing, because that was during the season. Postseason is when he kind of addressed the media, kind of had his, okay, my bad, I handled that wrong, but let's move forward. From that moment on, the PR, I would say, it was an A+. It was an A+ right up until the spring game comment. I had a full A+ for the off-season PR. I think we liked what we heard coming out of the our recruiting. I mean, even when we picked up the assist Cooper, that was an excellent move.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, and I don't think we lost Cooper. Sometimes you lose guys because you don't want to match them or something like that. We lost Cooper to home state dream job, right? Georgia guy, Georgia money, Georgia, patch on your thing, you're recruiting. We lost Cooper to a good situation, but being that Georgia took him, let you know that was an A++ hire getting him out of Florida. People don't ever want to give credit to stuff like that, Brian. Like, that's an A++ hire that nobody paid attention to until Georgia came along. I see another B. Actually, no, that's B Hall. Sounds like the NFL. Okay. But yeah, that's an A+ hire that you just kind of had some bad circumstances on that one. Like I said, the safety spot experience at the safety spot, the Duncan thing, it's an A++. When you get a grad transfer and they immediately put him in and say this guy's gonna be all conference, or this guy, like that's A++. So your development, when you have a Tyler Harrell in there, you just lost Tutu Atwell. You got another 4-3 guy that's basically supposed to run the Tutu Atwell stuff, right? So you feel you literally had the perfect guy to fill in the Tutu Atwell spot. So I'm kind of just looking, and I want to punish him more for not bringing in a bigger name quarterback. But I'm struggling to find the level of grade. So right now I am in. I'm in. I want to be harsh about the quarterback thing. I do want to be harsh. So I think it would, outside of the quarterback, Brian, I think I'm going to agree with you. Outside of the quarterback, he would have gotten an A-. He would have gotten an A- just because I don't give out A+. He definitely would have got an A- if you stuck one quarterback in that room that I thought was like an immediate, like this guy can push Malik for snaps, not just be a safety, a safety backup magnet, not just for depth, like a guy who can really challenge Malik. Like I did want this season to talk about I wanted the off season to be talking about a guy who might, who might steal some snaps, who might have a package where he, Shy
was supposed to be Luke McCaffrey. But do you think like Lewis could?
We did get Luke McCaffrey here.
I think that was probably the package that you're talking about, was what he was supposed to run.
Does he get a good grade or a bad grade for the Luke McCaffrey experiment?
Just that experience?
Yeah, for the experiment that was Luke McCaffrey.
I don't think we were in the wrong for trying. I think he was in the wrong for the way that he thought. So, if I'm Satterfield, yeah, I'd take a chance.
I have to know what you're reading, Brian.
Do what?
You've been reading something the whole time. I got to know what you've been reading, what you've been locked in. I haven't seen
something I'm dealing with.
I haven't seen your face in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I got a issue.
Okay. Now, Luke McCaffrey experience. You're saying we don't mark Satterfield for any of that. No demerits.
Not for trying. It wasn't his fault that the kid got here for a week and was like, yeah, I'm not going to be the starter. See ya. Unless Satterfield said something to him about possibly starting. But, what
if he told him we need you to redshirt a year?
Yeah, but I doubt Satterfield said that when he's got his returning starter coming back. He's not going to go to a kid who was was a freshman at Nebraska who didn't even start for Nebraska, and he's transferring to Louisville, doesn't know the system, and says, hey, yeah, you can come on in and be our starter. Highly doubt he said that.
Texas says, my grade is a B, no 5-star recruit. No major upgrade. You don't think we've had major upgrade? You know what? Listen to this, Brian. This is awesome. My grade is a B. No 5-star recruits and no major upgrades prevent an A grade. Solid upgrades and next man up secure grade is a B. Well, that's awesome then. If you get a B with no 5 stars and you feel like there's no major upgrades, what about to the offensive line and the defensive line? Brandon? I thought we did a grade on offensive line, or did we just kind of and Coach Bignell. I think Bignell is one of the better things you could do. Stretch offensive line, stretch zone coach. Seems like he knows what he's doing, pretty confident. It seems like he was on the same page as Satterfield with the evaluation of the offensive line. So the hires. The other coach that just came in as the recruiting guy, I don't know much about him just yet. I don't know how connected he is. But like I said, I will give Satterfield more credit than blame for the Cooper hire, the Bignell hire. I won't give a lot. I won't give the big credit for that. I think we kind of got that one kind of just fell into place. So yeah, offensive line. Oh, keeping Brian Brown. That's it. You have to reward Louisville for keeping Brian Brown. And because listen, go look him up yourself, y'all. Look at Coach Brown's history and what the world thinks of his defense. And at his age, hold your breath every offseason. I would, but he seems like he really believes in Coach Satterfield. So after I do all the math, I think I'm an A-. I think I've gone A- to Satterfield. Like I said, the quarterback thing, it's hard. When Malik has the numbers he has, it's hard to bring in a quarterback. And quarterback is just a one single position. And in 2 years, how many games has Malik missed? Has he missed a full game? Malik has not missed.
I don't think so. He's come out of a couple games though with injuries.
Right. He's bumped out a couple plays. Mekhi Becton is a major upgrade. That's zero to Mekhi Becton on the offensive line. But no. Yeah, like now that I add in keeping Brown, getting Bignell to replace Ledford, it makes that quarterback thing a lot less freaking out about. Knowing he can scare people. Like, yeah, I think I'll settle at an A-. And judging by the text line, everybody that's sitting around the B area range, I expected we must have did a good job this week, Brian, because I expected a lot of negative Nellies, and you know what I'm saying? You know, or maybe the South Carolina thing's wearing off. Maybe they're fatigued.
I think that's kind of gone. I mean, winning cures all. If he goes out and gets an 8 or 9 win season, I think everybody will forgot about the South Carolina thing, at least temporarily.
Drew Diener actually asked, were people, I forget if I think it was CJ Avery. He asked, how do people feel about that? He was like, no, he just came in and talked to us, told us exactly what happened. he was straightforward. It's like, yeah, listen to what he had to say and moved on about our business. And well, I'll leave that part out of it. But yeah, so my point of going down that road, y'all, is if you feel like you had a B+ off season and you don't have like wholesale complaints about what you know in the off season, compare that to any other team. Any other team, your Miami, they're looking the same, or they got younger. They lost a bunch of seniors. They lost a bunch of their minutes. So Miami, even though we're not playing Miami, which, just looking at the landscape, there's no teams that made a bunch of big jumps that should be better than us. I'm worried about North Carolina State's running back.
That one team that we need to beat.
I know.
I like that you put them number 1 on your list, because honestly, I think that probably is the most comparable